Judah Priest. Judah, welcome to Open Conversation, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate y'all having me here.
Thank you for being here.
I've been campaigning for a minute to get Judah in this dude. Haven't I? I've been hitting you up on when you coming on the show, trying to get him on the men's circle, empowerment circle.
Hey.
So finally he's sitting here in front of me. Dark, I love you, but I'm glad I don't got to share. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm chilling, doing my open conversation, you know. It's been a minute since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Since Status and then he came and gone. We knew that was coming, but shout out Status. What's going on?
Ain't nothing. Currently on tour right now, doing a redemption tour. Still promoting the album, newly released album, Dark Ages. And just maintaining and trying to relax when I can.
All right. So we definitely gonna get into talking about giving back to the community. I know there's a lot of things that you do. I know there's some confusion of where you live at, so we definitely gonna get in on that.
You can tell I was reading your post.
When Mark told me you were coming and we were powwowing about this, and I was like, you know how I do. I'll go in, not go in on you, but just the fact that people don't understand. They confused where you live at and all you do. I'm confused. That's why they don't know.
Nah, you know what? Let's clear that. Let's clear that, man. I reside in 3 different states, man. So wherever I'm at, that's where I'm at, man. Philly, Jersey, New York. You know what I mean? Staten Island, you already know. Nice town, shout out. CMD was good.
Right. But my point is, you do a lot in Philadelphia.
Right.
And some people didn't get that, I guess. They didn't get the memo.
Oh, was you talking about Philly Hip Hop Awards?
I didn't say it wasn't me. What's that song?
I'll put it out there. I was reading a post, because me and you Facebook friends, and that's more so, like everybody I know.
Right.
Everybody always, campaigns. So I pay attention to people, and I read a post and I was like, oh man, the Liz and Dimitri and Rachel and everybody that know me was like, yeah, you do a lot, this and that. So I started paying attention to it. I said, you know what? This is the best time. Because me and you been going back and forth trying to get you on. And I said, you know what? I got to get him now. Because right after that post, to give him a venue to explain to people really what this man do and what's his history and his hip hop.
Right. I mean, a lot of people get it confused. Like, 3 different states. But first and foremost, I was born in Nicetown. First and foremost. I've been back in Philadelphia for 5 years, off and on. I travel so much.
Right.
But I'm Philly, you know what I mean? So regarding to the post and everything, it's just like, I respect everybody.
Right.
Craft and everything, but Like, I just feel as though sometimes people have to, really do research. You know what I'm saying? And see, it's people who's really doing it, man. I've just been blessed to be in a position where as though I can go outside of Philly.
Right.
And travel the world, travel the states and everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I want to see for everybody. Right. But let's give respect where respect is due at the same time.
I totally agree. And that's why, like I said, I fought to get you here because I wanted you to explain exactly what you just said. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know. And it's funny that you said something that me and Liz and Fast Lane was just talking about, that people need to do research. I mean, they look at the outside picture and they go by that, instead of doing research on really what the work that was put in, so that way they can have that respect, because some people don't know, but I mean, if you're going to be the, I'll say judge and jury, then do your research before you more so make decisions that you make.
Just go like, again, respect to everybody, even, I'm saying, the Philly Hip Hop Awards.
Right.
That's like, the reason why I really felt so passionate about like this year, is because I feel as though I worked. That's something that I wanted to receive. You know what I'm saying? Just a nomination for something from my hometown, saying like, what we see. Like, you know what I mean? I could go anywhere and get love and respect from anywhere in the world. But Philadelphia is home, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I took it so passionately, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna work harder for next year.
Right. I mean, you definitely put in work this year. Like you follow each other on Facebook, so and you always tag me and stuff. So and I put it right up on my wall like instantly. and I knew all the work you did for this album, and the shows you put in, and you know, even when you broke your leg or your ankle, whatever was going on over there with that, and you know, but you were still getting your grind on. So I feel you when you talk about just that recognition, you know, and so I guess my question is, do you feel like politics, or sometimes it's a little too political in the entertainment industry, I'll say Philadelphia versus, because you have traveled, you know New York, you know the kind of love New York boroughs show people from their borough, like they show love and they go hard. Do you feel like the difference in the different states that you've been in, do you feel like Philadelphia has a political,
I mean,
I don't know what's the word.
I guess you could call it political
Click.
circle.
I mean,
Click.
you know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, when you look at the full schematics of everything is political. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Everything. It's not just the industry. But you already know, like, it's circles. You have to be amongst circles to even be recognized. So I understood that.
But is that right?
Nah, it's not. But again, you know, outside of the industry, people do it in everyday life without even knowing that they're doing it, because you know
True.
I mean, just if you look at friendships, you know what I mean, you close to these certain amount of these certain people right here, and when you meet new people, it's hard for sometimes the old people to accept the new people, because they're used to they clicks. So the person that's on the outside always try to prove that they fit in. You know what I mean? So it's not right, but it's something that we just do unknowingly sometimes.
I get that. I don't know. I guess I surround myself with people who embrace. If I say this person's cool, they embrace.
Right.
I mean, those are, you know, a lot of my friends.
Right.
So, but I do get what you're saying. However, I feel like you lose. When Darkchild said, did you have a footprint in this thing? You got a footprint in this thing. And I don't know if people don't know Google, make it Googleable. What's my word?
That's a word, Googleable.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
Right.
you have a real footprint in this thing. Like your legacy, your history reaches way back.
But you know what though? Like you said something about with Dark saying that and everything. Well, you know, Darkchild was like the motivation for me.
That's what's up.
I mean, I've seen when she was working, I mean, not just with the comedy and everything, but then I seen, you know what I'm saying, how hard she worked for her craft with the comedy and everything. You know, one thing, you know what I'm saying, that she told me was, no matter what you do, make sure you do it 100%.
Right.
Because at that time I was still playing I was still touring with Wu-Tang and doing stuff with them, but I was still playing college basketball at Community.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I had my hand in a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, you know, and like another thing she told me was, don't worry about the people who's not going to accept you. I mean, worry about the people that are going to accept you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the people who help build your legacy and everything. You know, and as a matter of fact, we had that conversation on 7th and Arch at the African American Museum.
Okay.
Because she threw a show and everything. And, you know, it's just like that conversation stuck to me all these years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. So now, since you talked about a little bit of the Wu-Tang and stuff like that, do me a favor, rewind back a little bit and build up for the listeners that don't know, just to give them, you ain't got to give the whole history of, you know, your whole footprint, but just give a little bit of who you worked with, you know, with how long you've been in the business and so on.
I mean, you know, I started this music at 7.
Okay.
My father was a DJ around Philly, local DJ, travel. I started taking it serious around like age 15. What a lot of people don't know, that my brother is Buddha Monk from Brooklyn Zoo, Wu-Tang Clan, which is the god brother to Old Dirty Bastard. So, you know, it was like, not saying I was Wu-Tang, but I was in Wu-Tang family because of him. The one thing with him is just like I said, the conversation with Dark, I had my hands in a lot of things.
Right.
So Buddha didn't want to just put me into something and I wasn't going to be serious. So I really had to prove myself. So I left basketball alone.
Right.
I hear myself. Yeah, you know, so, but once I really started, you know, really take it serious, like Monk just had me in studio sessions back in Brooklyn.
Right.
You know, he had what you call the boot camp. You know, and you know, this was missing in hip hop today with youth. Man, you know, a lot of people might disagree, but back then, being around certain individuals that was on that level when you're being taught, you just couldn't do anything. I'll be in the studio writing and they be like, what you writing for? You ain't getting on. You know.
Tough love.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was a couple Brooklyn Zoo Wu-Tang albums that I technically missed out on because I was still growing, but I was around. But that lesson, I still was able to travel. I mean, I was doing shows because I did. You know what I mean? I had left this room. I had gave my life back to Christ, so I had left this room of hip hop and went to Christian hip hop. Then I found out I was no different, so I came back. But the thing is this: I still was able to travel and tour. I learned a lot. The most that I really learned out of there is the key thing to life in the industry, professionalism. You know what I mean? So these are things that I'm sitting here, I'm around Zoo Ninjas, I'm around Buddha Monk, I'm around Ghostface, I'm around certain individuals at a young age, and the one thing I always wanted to learn, even in school, I did 5 years at Dobbins. That means I wanted to do more, you know what I mean, more education, but I always wanted to learn. I wanted to see how people moved on stage. I wanted to see how you work in the studio. I want to know why this button is doing what it's doing. I always wanted to learn. So then in 2000, like, you know, we jump ahead to about like 2000, 2001, I got the green light. Monk was living in Iceland. Matter of fact, no, he was in Switzerland. He was on tour for 3 years. He left me. You know, he was on tour for about 3 years in Switzerland, living like a king while I was sitting back here slaving. You know, but he's like, yo.